out in the heavens above you right now. The arc for those brains to weather the red flood. A little worse for wear, but nothing that can't be patched up with vinegar and brown paper. In time, such a pity your body prevents you from joining them. Perhaps your luck will change.
Returning to patrol. Unauthorized personnel detected. Security lock engaged. Security recalibrated. Access granted.
No, you listen to me. The contamination levels are through the roof. Red lines crossed here, there, and everywhere. This is an emergency. You assigned me to this bloody hole, and I am doing my job. Are you listening? Oh, that's a neat trick. You've changed into somebody else. Very odd. Mind you, everything's a bit odd these days. Anyway, whoever you are, listen to me. You need to take a message. Colonel Devere reports contamination levels are through the roof. Got that? Through the roof. It's what? The blasted stuff is loose. Just a tick while I check my internal clock. Processing. Wait, that's not the right day, or month, or 5 years. It's time I got this mess sorted out. I didn't get pulled out of a fiery wreck and shoved in a jar just to while away my time in this sewer. And what of my project? What of High Albion? I was assigned to oversee it. They needed a chap with vision, you see. And then they reassigned me down here. Not quite sure of the logic behind that, I grant you. Enough talk. You must take me to the command center. I need to learn all the gen on the current state of affairs. Hurry now. Come on then, look sharp.
Down on Earth from space. We'll be the first people up there, won't we? I swear, if the wretched Americans have beaten us to it.
Additional commissions granted. Commission level 4 reached.
Hello?
Is that Keen? Surely not.
Hello? My connection to the command center is back. Permission level 4 has been granted, and the lock has been released. Quite brilliant work. Now, it's vitally important that you don't plug any of the others into the system. We don't need them seizing control. Rendezvous with me at the train yard immediately, and I can explain my plan to you more fully.
Ah, the ubiquitous Dr. Keene. I thought he was gone.
I mean, I thought he was deposited somewhere out of the way. The fact he is awake is unfortunate. Stranger, ignore him. You must not go to Dr. Keene. He'll just make a mess of everything again. He is unreliable, and if you start listening to him, well, don't. That's all. Keene should be left where he is. Believe you me.
Wary. There speaks someone blessed, never to have encountered the monstrous egotism and dubious scientific accomplishments of Dr. Alexander Keene.
His methods are rushed, impulsive, like a child in a toy shop. An attitude not suited to the laboratory. The red strain is dangerous, and though it is contained in the zone, for the moment at least, we cannot guarantee the same is true outside these walls. If those samples really did make it out in a viable state, Keene has done enough damage already. He will only turn us away from the past to High Albion. He cannot be trusted. Because some terrible thing should be confined to the past, we must look to the future now, to the stars. If the world is to be flooded by red, then High Albion shall be our ark.
Well said, Gideon.
Please forget about Dr. Keene. Find our final colleague and we can complete High Albion. Then you can be freed from your prison and we can set about saving humankind.
Arbuthnot, our chief engineer, sterling fella. He's the one we're missing. The chap had a workshop all of his own. It was down in the tunnels under the launch site, if I recall.
Target spotted!
Good, you're here. Quickly, unlock the door. Finally, I can be free of this cursed contraption. Thank you, my friend. You may not understand it yet, but you've given me the opportunity to finally put right a great wrong. No, I'm not one of those poorly pickled fools. I founded the entire decantation program. Without the technology I created, there would never have been a processing department. They merely followed the road I paved before them. They whine incessantly about the gift I bestowed upon them, but without it they'd all be dead. It's time to put an end to this horror. You must by now have realized how destructive the red strain truly is. The catastrophe that would ensue, should it be released, is frankly inconceivable. You and I are the last hope of bringing an end to the horror that this facility threatens to unleash upon the world. We must eradicate all traces of the Red Strain, once and for all, while we still can. Fear not, my friend. I have a plan to do exactly that. They each might have been brilliant in their own way, but they are lacking in resolve when it comes to what's truly important. They want to stew in cogitation, calculating every conceivable variable before ever daring to act. We do not have the luxury of the time that would require. There's so much more at stake here than you can possibly know. It's not just this facility that's in danger. The threat is far greater than that. The disaster at the Windscale site sent the whole base into a panic. But all that the organization cared about were their precious research samples. In the midst of the unfolding chaos, they secretly loaded 2 trains up with Red Strain samples in order to transport them to a different facility, one just outside the zone. It was, frankly, an act of desperate madness and a clear breach of all of our existing quarantine protocols. Then, something went catastrophically wrong with the Sentry robots, and in the ensuing chaos, the Red Strain was released onto the base, triggering an immediate emergency quarantine. The second train was stopped by the automated quarantine, but there's a very real danger that the primary evacuation train left the facility, with samples of the Red Strain on board. I can see why you might think that, but let me assure you that any motivation there might have been for further research was far from altruistic, which was a fact I discovered for myself. You see, parts of the research into the Red Strain were being kept deliberately quiet, even from the processing department. That was in itself suspicious. Then I started to hear whispers of research subjects presenting with wildly different symptomatic conditions to those we had witnessed. Worryingly different. Via a combination of gentle diplomacy and outright coercion, I managed to gain access to a small part of the classified research that they were keeping from us. Even that limited extract made it clear that the Red Strain has far more exciting and dangerous properties than simply inducing homicidal rage in test subjects. It creates a form of shared consciousness, diffusing information amongst contaminated minds to form an organized collective awareness. In short, many become one. They were researching ways this could be used to influence anyone, from subtle behavioral adjustment all the way through to full subversion of free will. In layman's terms, we're talking about mass mind control. I'm sure I do not need to explain to you the horrifying implications of this technology falling into the wrong hands. I need you to understand that, in case there are no right hands. Which leaves us with no other option. To eradicate the Red Strain once and for all, we'll have to destroy the quarantine zone and any other test sites in the region. I understand your hesitance to unleash such wanton destruction, of course. But you must understand that this is the only way to truly protect the world beyond this beleaguered corner of the kingdom. I discovered where they plan to take the samples. There's an ancillary base, Test Site N, located outside of the zone, built specifically to further expand Red Strain research. If the samples survived the trip, and we must assume they did, however unlikely that may seem, then they will be in secure storage at Site N. If we are to truly eradicate the strain, we must destroy Site N and every other clandestine test site in the region, not just the quarantine zone here. It's the only way to be sure we can finally find a use for the processing department's precious High Albion, that giant white elephant of a space station that they've got hanging abandoned in geosynchronous orbit above the zone. Once I'm connected to the command center, we can activate the Apollyon contingency. It's a contingency plan to scuttle High Albion. Designed as a measure of last resort, it will deorbit the station and bring it crashing down into the ocean. From the command center, you can redirect the station towards the Lake District instead. We can take out the quarantine zone and the rest of their damn test sites in one fell swoop. I know how apocalyptic this must sound, but you have to believe me. It's the only way to be certain of eliminating the Red Strain for good. If it breaches containment, everyone could lose their autonomy, humanity's free will gone. Just like that. We can't let that happen. Test Site N was being built specifically to further research on the red strain. I saw the plans myself. Those samples are incredibly volatile and need a very specifically designed containment facility. The red strain samples will still be there, I'm certain. They have to be. I understand the gravity of what I'm asking of you. But you have to believe me when I tell you, this is the only way. My life is on the line here too. But I made the decision long ago that I was willing to sacrifice myself to stop anyone from spreading the red strain's curse any further. And to do that, we have to destroy it all. Not just here in the zone, but in the other sites across Cumbria. We must be ruthlessly thorough. And waste yet more time arguing with those fatuous fools? Very well, but please plug me into the command center first. Then we can talk for as long as you want. Please, take me to the command center. It's the only way to fix all of this.